Hello and welcome back to the Houston Texans franchise. Today we're going to be taking on the Chicago Bears in the last game of the regular season. We have already punched our ticket to the playoffs by winning our division, and we're pretty much locked into the 3 seed here in the AFC, so we don't have too much to play for. But the Bears, they do. They could still make the playoffs as a wildcard team. The last wildcard spot in the NFC is currently held by the Seattle Seahawks, who are 8-8. But they've dropped 5 straight games, and they're taking on the Raiders. So if the Seahawks lose and the Bears beat us, the Bears are in the playoffs. But there's also the Eagles. If the Bears and Seahawks both lose and the Eagles somehow beat the Cowboys, who have the best record in the NFL, then the Eagles would get in. Another game we should pay close attention to is this Chargers and Chiefs one. The winner wins the division, the loser is a wildcard team. While the outcome of this game doesn't necessarily matter to us, we do want to put up some good stats and get to some nice round numbers like 30 passing touchdowns in Dwight Divine's rookie season. He could also get to 1,000 rushing yards if he plays up above his averages. There's also Brandon Cooks, just 3 yards away from his 7th 1,000 yard season of his career and his 3rd straight with the Texans. Charles Omenihu just a half sack away from double digits in back-to-back seasons. So we do have a couple of things to play for. Allen Robinson is going to miss the game for the Bears, and that is a huge loss. He leads the NFL in receiving yards, he leads the Bears in all 3 major receiving categories, and he's a really good player. I mean, look at these ratings across the board, he can do it all. So with Allen Robinson out, they're going to be counting on Darnell Mooney, Jacoby Myers, Cole Kmet, and rookie Spencer Pryor. Out of Clemson, he has some really good ratings here early in his career, but just 6 catches and 2 touchdowns. He needs to have a bigger role, especially today with Robinson out. Dwight Divine getting warmed up ahead of his last regular season game of his rookie season. And he has a chance to add to his stat total right away. He's going to go deep down the field in the first play. One-on-one for Nico Collins. He's got him at the Chicago 10. He wins a jump ball, and just like that, it's goal to go for the Texans. They're going to hand it off on 1st and goal. Right side, Willis going to be ripped down from behind, losing a yard. 2nd and goal, White the back. They're in a shotgun look. Divine going right side, caught by Nico Collins again. It's a touchdown and a 7-0 lead here early for the Texans. That is Collins' 2nd receiving touchdown on the season. He had none before last week. And it was a nice toe drag catch by him there. Justin Fields and the Bears down 7-0 early. They're going to go deep on their first play for Darnell Mooney, but broken up by Reed. 2nd and 10. Plenty of time for Fields, lobbing left side, caught by Cole Kmet. Stiff-arming a defender and knocked out of bounds at the 48, a gain of 23. In motion, Cole Kmet across, and they're going to give it to him on a handoff. He's going to be stuffed in the backfield. 2nd and 10. Fields, a clean pocket, but time's running out. He got hit and lost the ball. It's recovered by the Texans. That's Ross Blacklock. Nobody's going to catch him, showboating his way into the end zone and giving the Texans an early 2-score lead. The hit was provided by Jerry Hughes, the veteran, forcing the fumble, and Ross Blacklock running this one back, potentially running his way to a Defensive Player of the Year award here in the AFC. Fields and the Bears down 2 scores early. They need this game, obviously, to at least have a chance to make the playoffs. Fields going to slide on down, picking up 9 yards. 2nd and 1. A fake to Montgomery. They still have not handed it off to him, and this one's nearly intercepted over the middle. 3rd and 1. Clean pocket for Fields. Lobbing left side, caught by Montgomery. He has the first down and is up to the 42. So a shotgun formation, a flip pass forward to Cole Kmet, and he's stuffed in the backfield, losing 2. What is Matt Nagy trying to do with all these trick plays here early? 2nd and 12, that's the rookie Patterson. Rookie tight end out of LSU has made it 3rd and 3. Fields lobbing right side here, caught by Jacoby Myers into Houston territory and knocked out at the 25 with a huge gain and a big first down. Just outside the edge of the red zone, the Texans send a blitz, but it doesn't get there. Fields escaping right, inside the 10 and into the end zone. Cutting the lead in half and getting the Bears on the scoreboard here in the first quarter. The Texans up 14-7 are back on offense, giving it to Willis, and he's going nowhere down at the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10. Only a 4-man rush, but pressure still coming. Divine drilled as he let that one go. Third down. A delayed blitz. Pressure coming again. That's Khalil Mack on back-to-back plays. And it's a quick 3 and out. We had the extra blocker on that side, but he went inside instead of staying outside to help out. The Bears take over at their own 21. Chance to tie it up after that rough start. Fields throwing across his body, across the field, caught by Myers, but they ruled him out of bounds. I think the refs just screwed the Bears. 2nd and 10. Plenty of time for Fields. Going over the middle, that's the rookie, Spencer Pryor. He has a first down, a gain of 15 up to the 36. David Montgomery finally getting his first carry here. Took until their third possession. He has a gain of 2. 2nd and 8. All day for Fields, stepping up and going down. Going to be sacked by Jerry Hughes. His second sack of this first quarter. 3rd and 15. A chance to get off the field. Fields moving left, throwing the ball, fading away. That's intercepted by Dwayne Crisp. He now has the team lead for interceptions at midfield, juking Justin Fields into Bears territory. Finally down at the 33. A huge play and a big momentum swing back in Houston's favor. I don't know why Fields threw this ball fading away. He could have taken off and probably got the first down pretty easy. Dwayne Crisp, the front runner right now for the AFC Rookie of the Year, at least the Defensive Rookie of the Year, as you can see. We'll see if that ends up sealing it for him. The Texans with great starting field position to give it to Damian Willis up the middle. He has a gain of 5. 2nd and 5. Flip pass to Brandon Cooks. He has some blocks. The first down and more. Finally brought down at the 13, and that will give him over 1,000 receiving yards on the season. Now 3 straight in a Texans uniform. 2nd and 10. Divine underneath. That's Nico Collins. Inside the 5, spinning his way into the end zone. His 3rd receiving touchdown on the season. His 2nd on the day. And Divine's 30th passing touchdown of his rookie season. Fields and the Bears back on offense. Down 2 scores again. They need to put together a good drive and get some more points on the board. A gain of 3 on a scramble. 2nd and 7. Fields stepping up. Going right side to Cole Kmet. Brought down near the sticks at the 35. 3rd and inches. An empty look for the Bears. Throwing left side. Cole Kmet has the first down up to the 42 to end this first quarter. We're finally going to run it again with David Montgomery on the left side, stiff-arming a defender, picking up 3, just his 2nd carry of this game. 2nd and 6. Fields underneath here. Jacoby Myers has the first down and is knocked out at the Houston 47. Another 4-man rush. Fields going to keep going underneath. That is Pryor, the rookie, and he's to the 39. 2nd and 2. Another handoff to David Montgomery, who's blasted, picking up just 1. 3rd down. Another 4-man rush. Quick throw right side. That's Khalil Herbert breaking a tackle and out of bounds at the 25 with the first down. The Bears are moving the ball, but they're only picking it up on these underneath throws. Fields taking off, picking up 11 and another first down. They're in the red zone. Plenty of time again. Fields stepping up, throwing on the right side. Darnell Mooney inside the 5 and down at the 1. Goal to go for the Bears. Power look, give to the fullback. He's into the end zone untouched, making this a 1-score game again. The Texans back on offense. Empty look here on 2nd and 10. Divine trying to escape right, and he's going to get what he can, getting knocked out of bounds there by Khalil Mack, fumbling the ball. 3rd and 1. Hand off to Willis, who's met and stopped short of the line to gain. So it's a quick 3 and out. The Bears are getting the ball back. Chance to tie it up again. A blitz from Houston, a throw underneath here. That's Patterson, the rookie tight end, with a first down up to the 36. Montgomery, the back, they're going to give it to him. He's going to be spun on down by Blacklock, picking up 2 yards. 2nd and 8. Fake to Montgomery. Fields throwing it back to Montgomery in the right flat, and he has a gain of 3. 3rd and 5. 4-man rush. Plenty of time for Fields. A man open on the left side. That's Jacoby Myers near the sticks, and they're going to give it to him. So a new set of downs. David Montgomery stiff-arming and piled up there at the 49 of Houston. 2nd and 5. A blitz from the Texans. A throw underneath to Pryor, and he's up to the 43. Enough for a first down. Montgomery, a carry on the left side, picking up 4 yards, 6 carries, 18 for him. 3rd and 5. Throw underneath here to Khalil Herbert, breaking a tackle near a first down at the 33. They're not going to give it to him. It's 4th down. They're going to try a field goal here. This is Crosby, one of their 2 kickers, and he missed it off the upright. Maybe they should just have Cairo Santos still kicking for him. Crosby missing a big one here. So the Texans take over, still up 7. A handoff to James White, juking forward up to the 47, taking us to the 2-minute warning here in the first half. 2nd and 3. Devine getting drilled on this one. Lucky it just falls incomplete. 3rd down. Only a 4-man rush. Devine lobbing left side. That's Puka Williams for the first down. Out of bounds at the 37 of Chicago. Texans still throwing it over the middle here. Broken up off the hands of Adams. 3rd down. Devine, plenty of time going left side. Caught by Collins, but they're going to say he's short of the first down. The Texans are going to kick a field goal here and go up 2 scores nearing the end of this first half. The Bears back on offense. They still have a minute and a half and 2 timeouts to try to cut into this lead. An incomplete pass there. 2nd and 10. Fields stepping up and getting rid of this at the last second. 3rd down. They're just going to run this and try to take it to half, but the Texans are going to use a timeout. They still have 2 left and a minute left to try to add to their lead. Devine escaping right here and taking off. He has Green in front of him at midfield, finally going out of bounds at the 38, already in field goal range with 2 timeouts and a minute left. They can still try for a touchdown, trying to set up a screen pass here. That's Damian Willis. Near a first down, he's got it, and out of bounds at the 24, saving both of their timeouts. Devine, all day extending right, lobbing. That's Nico Collins inside the 5, diving into the end zone. His 3rd touchdown of the first half. Who saw that coming from Nico Collins? Look at the separation he gets. What a day for Nico Collins. I mean, just unbelievable. Only 1 touchdown all season, and it came last week. Now 3 in 1 half. Fields and the Bears down 31-14. A throw underneath here getting just 3. They hurry up to the line even though they have 2 timeouts. Fields firing deep down the field. 1-on-1 for Darnell Mooney, and he wins a jump ball at the Houston 28. They're in field goal range with 10 seconds left. They still have 1 timeout. They're going to probably try to make the field goal a bit easier, but they could also throw it to the end zone if they wanted to. Fields just going to throw it underneath on the right side to Jacoby Myers, and he's down at the 10 with 3 seconds left. Crosby on the field to kick a field goal, and the kick is good. So it's 31-17 here at halftime. We'll see if the Bears are able to make a comeback in the second half or not. Looking at the score of another game here, the Browns are down 2 scores. If that score holds, then the Texans are guaranteed to be the 3 seed in the AFC. The Jaguars lost to the Dolphins, which means that the Texans are the only team from the AFC South that's going to make the playoffs. Let's get to the second half of this one, though. The Bears starting with the ball, trying to make a comeback and potentially make the playoffs themselves. 2nd and 10 after an incomplete pass. A throw on the left side for Cole Kmet, breaking a tackle, picking up a first down and a gain of 11. All day for Fields here. There's just no pressure on him, and he misses Patterson anyway. 2nd and 10. Another 4-man rush. We're giving Fields too much time. He finds a man open. That's Pryor underneath, and he is a first down up to the 43. Montgomery on a carry, popped, and picking up just 1. Hightower delivering another big hit. 3rd and 9. Fields stepping up and taking off. He's going to slide down at midfield short of the first, and they're going to punt it away to the Texans, who take over at their own 17. A handoff to White. He picks up 4 on first down. 2nd and 6. A read option, keeper by Devine. There's nowhere to go, though. He picks up 5 yards somehow. 3rd and 2. It's an RPO. They're going to give it to White, who smashed, but he has the first down, keeping the drive alive. Lewis back in the game. A handoff up the middle, but nowhere to go. 5 carries, 6 yards. 3rd and 12. Devine going underneath and checking it down to White, and they're going to punt it away back to the Bears. The Chicago offense back on the field. 5 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Fields moving left, throwing back right. That's caught by Pryor at midfield with a huge gain and a big first down. A dangerous throw by Fields, but it pays off. Fields here escaping left, firing downfield. A man wide open. It's Cole Kmet avoiding tacklers and downed finally at the 8. Goal to go for the Bears. First and goal, a handoff to Montgomery, and he's down at the 5. 9 carries, 22 yards for him. Second and goal, toss to Montgomery left side, and he's into the end zone. His first rushing touchdown of the day, and he's cut it down to a one-score game. 31-24, the Texans back on offense, throwing on first down to Brandon Cooks. He has a big gain up to the 44. Second and 10, the Texans go empty. Devine on a keeper, brought down, picking up 3 yards. He has 60 rushing yards, so he is getting close to the 1,000-yard mark on the season. Firing deep down the field here, he overthrew Jordan. No, he didn't. What a catch by Brevin Jordan, and he's into the end zone. That looked like a complete overthrow. How did he catch this? What an amazing effort by Brevin Jordan. The hurdle and everything to get into the end zone. Now here's Fairbairn on to kick the extra point, and he just missed it wide left. So it's a 13-point Texans lead. The Bears back on offense. Here's Montgomery losing 2. Second and 12. Montgomery on a draw play. He has some space and is up to the 26. Third down. The Texans send a blitz. It gets picked up. Fields lobbing right side, a man open, but he's out of bounds. It's incomplete. So the Bears punt it away. The Texans back on offense. Here's Devine on a quarterback draw, breaking a tackle and spun on down at the 31 to end the third quarter. 3rd and 1 to start the fourth. A read option keeper for Devine. He has the first down at midfield, sliding down at the Chicago 44. He has over 1,000 rushing yards on the season. 2nd and 8. Here's Willis on a handoff. He has the first down and his longest run of the day, a gain of 12 yards. Trying to chew some clock here. James White on the right side, down at the 26. 2nd down. White still in the backfield. Another handoff up the middle, breaking a tackle as the first down, picking up 10. 2nd and 8. Pistol full house. Willis up the middle, stuffed at the line of scrimmage. Just 23 yards on the day for him. 3rd down. An RPO screen pass. Devine going down, and it's 4th down. Fairbairn on to kick the field goal, and the kick is good. So it's now a 16-point Texans lead. Still a 2-score game, so the Bears do have a chance. Montgomery breaking a tackle, picking up 11 yards and a first down. 6 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Fields going to be sacked here, going down back at the 30. That is Hill. 2nd and 15. Only a 4-man rush. Fields going underneath. That's David Montgomery, spun on down at the 39. The Texans have a bunch of backups in the game. 3rd and 6. Fields lobbing way out of bounds. It's 4th down. The offense is staying on the field. Justin Fields lobbing deep right side over the head of Pryor. It's a turnover on downs. The Texans take over. And they put in all their backups here on offense. Jason Lashley getting a handoff. Brought down at the 30, a gain of 10. 2nd and inches. Mills trying to throw it, but he has nobody open. And he's going to have to throw it away out of bounds. 3rd and inches. They're going to try to throw it again. All day for Mills, a man wide open. That's Devontae Adams still in the game. They wanted to make sure he got a reception on the day. That is actually his first catch. He has a first down, keeping the drive alive. Jason Lashley spun on down here, picking up 7. 2nd and 2. Cumberland's the back. It's a read option keeper for Mills, and he's going down in the backfield. 3rd down, an empty look. All day for Mills again, lobbing a man wide open. It's Nico Collins, but Mills missed him. It would have been Collins' 4th touchdown on the day. Instead, they're going to kick a field goal and make it a 43-24 game. The Bears back on offense, now down 3 scores. They need a miracle to make this comeback. None with a reception, a gain of 9. 2nd and 1. Fields all day, got to swing it out right side to Montgomery, who has the first down, taking us to the 2-minute warning. From their own 43, a quick throw on the left side to Patterson, and he's brought down at midfield. They hurry up, keeping all 3 of their timeouts. 2nd and 4. This is Patterson again, this time on the right side. Out of bounds at the Houston 32. 2nd and 10 after an incomplete pass. Fields escaping left. Nobody in front of him is going to lob it downfield instead to Mooney, and he has a first down out at the 12. They're in the red zone. 1:30 left. Montgomery on a screen pass down at the 11. They hurry up to the line. 2nd and 9. Fields stepping up, lobbing to the end zone. Caught, but he's out the back of the end zone. That was Pryor. 3rd down. 1:13 left. All day for Fields again. Lobbing to the end zone. Caught, but he's out of bounds. It was none this time. It's 4th down. Fields throwing underneath here. Caught by Patterson. He's down at the 1. Goal to go. Under a minute to go. They still have all their timeouts, but they're trying to save them. Fields, pressure coming, is sacked and lost the ball. The Bears recover. That was Jacoby Stevens. They're still hurrying up, though. Just 30 seconds left. Fields escaping left. Throwing left side for Patterson, and they say he's out of bounds. 3rd and goal. The Texans blitz. Fields to the end zone, batted down by Barr. 4th and goal. Just 25 seconds left. I mean, the Bears probably aren't going to make the comeback, but they're trying to put some points on the board. It's incomplete, and that will end the game. The Texans are going to win this one 43-24. Fields threw it 48 times for 413 yards, but had no passing touchdowns. They just couldn't throw the ball once they got down in the red zone. He ran for 54 yards and a touchdown, but overall they probably should have ran it more with him. I think that was their best offense, having him scramble. Cole Kmet was their top receiver, at least in yards, tied with Montgomery in receptions, but yeah, no touchdowns for anybody on the Bears through the air. Dwight Devine, 11 of 17, 243 yards, throwing 4 passing touchdowns. He was able to get to 30 on the season. He had a pretty great game. Mills didn't really play very well when he entered, but that was whatever. He did run also for 92 yards, having a great day running the ball, getting his 1,000 rushing yards. We really didn't run the ball very well, though, with our running backs. I guess White was fine, but Willis just couldn't get anything going. Nico Collins, how about his day? 5 catches, 118 yards, and 3 receiving touchdowns. Should have had a 4th. I mean, he was wide open all game long. On defense, how about Jerry Hughes? 2 sacks, both of them in that first quarter, and that big forced fumble that was returned for a touchdown. We do have some upgrades to go through. Colecchio Semele has one. Let's go ahead and go power, try to get that run blocking up, and he gets 3 to run block power. Brevin Jordan as an upgrade had that amazing touchdown. We're actually going to go blocking here, though. That is his weakest part of his game. And he gets 3 to lead block, 2 to run block. Perfect. That is exactly what we were looking for. With the regular season coming to a close, it is time to look at the season stats. I mean, Dwight Devine, I thought he played a great rookie season. 32 passing touchdowns, 11 interceptions, throwing for over 4,500 yards. Good completion percentage. He was sacked 36 times, which is a little more than the league average, but that was more on the offensive line than him. Willis was able to run for over 1,000 yards. Remember, he missed a game with a broken finger against the Raiders, and he played pretty well despite the poor offensive line. Dwight Devine, I can't believe he actually got to 1,000 rushing yards. He averaged 10 yards a carry. The fumbles were a bit of a problem, 9 of them. Hopefully he's able to cut down on those next season. James White, 75 carries for 335 yards. A pretty good average, but the 3 fumbles, a bit disappointing. He wasn't brought in necessarily to be a running back. He was more of a receiving back. I mean, comparing his rushing stats to last season on the Patriots, I would say it's about in line with what I expected. The fumbles, though, not so much. Moving on to the receiving stats, how about Devontae Adams? Brought him in, paid him all that money, and I thought he delivered. He was a big target guy all season long, making big-time catches. He did have a drop-off in receptions, yards, and touchdowns, but still played really well. Brandon Cooks, like I mentioned during the game, got his 3rd straight 1,000-yard receiving season in Houston and his 7th overall. Here's a look at his career receiving stats. Yeah, right in line with what he's been doing, and he's on a contract year. We'll see if we end up bringing him back. Brevin Jordan had a really interesting season. He had less receptions than last year, but had more yards per catch, 2 less touchdowns though. I would definitely say he had a better season overall this year, especially those big plays down the field. He always seems to deliver in those moments. Nico Collins, of course, had a drop off. I mean, he did move to the number 3 receiver, but kind of to be expected. Still, I would say he came on strong at the end of the season. James White, the receiving stats look fantastic. More receptions this year, more yards, and more touchdowns, more yards per catch. I mean, completely better than he was last year. Here's a look at the rest of the receiving stats. Kevin Smart, most of those coming in one game. Puka Williams was pretty solid. Willis had a couple more catches than I anticipated him having in his rookie season. And Sheldon Dillon, shout out to him, getting that touchdown against Jacksonville. Defensively, we're only going to talk about a couple players right now. Donta Hightower, 133 tackles, 17 of those for a loss, 2 sacks, forced a bunch of fumbles, put a bunch of big hits on players. I thought he had a great season here in his first year in Houston. Dwayne Crisp got over 100 tackles, led the team in interceptions, and he's likely to win the Defensive Rookie of the Year in the AFC. He was really above my expectations when we drafted him. I know he had some good ratings, but I didn't even know he'd be the day one starter at safety. Justin Reed missed out on 100 tackles by 1, and he had 0 interceptions on the year. That's a bit disappointing. Ross Blacklock did finish with 30 tackles for loss, 15.5 sacks. We'll see if that is good enough to win the Defensive Player of the Year in the AFC. Talking about some special teams here, Fairbairn, of course, finishing with the most made field goals and most attempts, and it wasn't even close. I don't know, we just keep leading in this category, and it's unfortunate but fortunate at the same time because Fairbairn plays well, but you just don't want to lead in field goals made or attempted. Punting the ball, Dom Booth had a great season, pinning him back inside the 2016 times of his 49 punts. Definitely had no expectations for him when we picked him up off the Dolphins practice squad. Let's do a draft story here before we move on and start talking about the playoffs. Cornerback Earl Wilson out of Washington, 5'11", 181, 22 years old, has a round 1 or 2 grade. Great to elite speed. Every physical category there looks great. We don't know any of the coverage though. B awareness, C play rec, A hit power, B tackle. Maybe somebody we pick to focus on more in the offseason and try to find out some of his coverages. Could be a good corner. Another draft story here. Byron Mitchell, a wide receiver out of Florida State, has immense potential, but definitely has an injury history and concerning a lot of teams. He's a physical receiver at 6'5", 234, 23 years old, out of Florida State, has dropped 27 spots, now a round 1 or 2 grade. I mean, the physicals, they jump off the charts. B spec catch, B release, B catch in traffic. Everything looks amazing, but the F stamina and potential injury problems drop him on the board, which is good for us because I really like him and I still might take him in the second round if he's there. Let's look around the league at some of the league leaders in stats. Tom Brady leading the NFL in passing yards still here late in his career. Lamar Jackson led the NFL in passing touchdowns. Mac Jones throwing 20 interceptions on the season. Don't like seeing that if you're a Patriots fan. Lamar Jackson, Justin Herbert, and Dak Prescott lead in completion percentage. Rushing leaders, Ezekiel Elliott leads in yards, McCaffrey trailing him by not too far. Dwight Devine led the NFL in yards per carry at 10, the only one to be in the double digits. Ezekiel Elliott had 23 rushing touchdowns on the year, a very impressive season. Dalvin Cook leading in yards per game. He did get injured, unfortunately. Probably could have won the MVP with the tear he was on. Dwight Devine, of course, leading in fumbles at 9. That's a bit disappointing. Hopefully that comes down next season. Mike Evans ended up leading in receptions, and the yards leader is still Allen Robinson, even after missing last week's game against us. The touchdown leader, that's CeeDee Lamb at 19, couldn't quite get to 20. Travis Kelce right behind him at 18. Defensively, Jadeveon Clowney led the AFC in sacks at 21.5. See Blacklock down here not too far at 15.5. In the NFC, Aaron Donald breaks the sack record, 23.5. Had an incredible season on a losing team as they missed out on the playoffs. Speaking of the playoffs, let's look around the league at the standings. Starting with the NFC North, the Packers, the only team to make it out of that division, going 11-6, winning the division pretty easy. The NFC South, the division that has had the last 2 Super Bowl champions, has both of those teams making it. The Buccaneers and Panthers, with the Buccaneers taking the division. The NFC East, the Cowboys win it, going 14-3, as they finish with the best record in all of the NFL. The Deshaun Watson-led Giants do make it as a wildcard team, going 10-7. The NFC West, the 49ers take that, going 11-6, and the Seahawks sneak in as a wildcard team, going 9-8, winning that last game against the Raiders, ending that losing streak. The AFC North, the Browns take it, going 10-7. The Ravens make it as a wildcard team, winning their last 3 to finish 10-7 as well. The AFC South, the Texans, the only team to make it out of here. We went 12-5, winning the division pretty easily. And the AFC East, the Dolphins, kind of the same story, going 13-4. Nobody really even close to them. The Patriots lost their last 6 games to go 6-11. The AFC West is taken by the Chiefs as they beat the Chargers in the last week. Though the Chargers and Raiders do both make it, so 3 playoff teams out of that division. We got a press conference about our first playoff game. How important is your first playoff win? We're not going to go out here and guarantee a win. We don't want to add any fuel to the fire for our opponent, so we're just going to play it cool and go out there and make no guarantees. And the first playoff opponent is the Raiders. So we have the goal to beat them and we can get some extra staff points. Here's a look at the playoff bracket. You can see we are the 3 seed taking on the Raiders. The 1 seed in the AFC goes to the Chiefs. The 1 seed in the NFC goes to the Cowboys. The Cowboys finishing with the best record in all of the NFL. Should be a pretty good playoffs. I mean, looks like a lot of good teams. And let's focus on the Raiders though, 1 game at a time. We did lose to them in our regular season matchup, 15-20. In that game, Derek Carr was very efficient, didn't turn the ball over, only had 1 touchdown, but that is all they needed from him because Josh Jacobs ran all over us, 125 rushing yards, over 5 yards a carry. They are 3 deep at running back. They're in Las Vegas. That should be our main focus, trying to stop those guys. Receiving wise, Cortland Sutton, a pretty good option. Darren Waller, Henry Ruggs, Hunter Renfrow, they're all really good. You can't really just forget about them. You gotta at least match up well with them, which I think we should be okay. Darren Waller might be a bit of a problem. In that game, Dwight Devine didn't play his best, but we didn't have Damian Willis, so we had to rely on James White, who did average over 5 yards a carry, but we just didn't really run it enough with him, and it wasn't very consistent. So we should probably try to run the ball a little bit more, but not go overboard with it. Adams did kind of kill him, 8 for 99. He was very good at getting open against them. Brandon Cooks, 5 for 68. So we did have our top 2 receivers do pretty well against them. On the season, Derek Carr, kind of the same story he had against us. Very efficient with the ball, doesn't turn it over, and that's really all they want out of him. And the ground game is their main focus offensively. Josh Jacobs over 5 yards a carry on the season. 15 rushing touchdowns, over 100 yards a game. Kenyon Drake and Cordell Truman had about the same stats as the backup running backs. Cortland Sutton and Hunter Renfrow may have the most yards and touchdowns on the team, but I think Henry Ruggs and Darren Waller are a bigger concern through the passing game for me. Because Darren Waller, a tight end, 6'6", 90 speed, can run any route, can catch anything. He could be a problem for us like the tight ends have been all season long. Defensively, Max Crosby kind of killed us in that game, has 8.5 sacks on the season. Yannick Ngakoue really good. So is Farrell and Solomon Thomas. Even Nate Love, their first-round pick, can rush the passer. He could do a little bit of everything. At linebacker, Kwiatkowski and KJ Wright are pretty good at stopping the run. They have some decent corners too. Trayvon Mullen Jr. They have Abram at safety who can lay the wood. Donta Jackson. I mean, they're a good defense, a pretty good team overall. You can see why they made the playoffs. At kicker, they have Jake Elliott, who has a huge leg, which could come into play on late field goals at the end of the half or the end of the game. We have to remember that. Their head coach is Mike Zimmer, who wants to keep games low scoring and make them defensive struggles, so we can't let them do that because that's what happened the first time we took on the Raiders. So as we game plan, we're going to go defend the inside run, try to stop the run. Don't let them do what they did last time. You can't let Josh Jacobs run for 125 yards and over 5 yards a carry. And offensively, we're going to go throw it short. I know we do have Damian Willis back, but we're going to go throw it short. We've done that all season long, and I think it's our best bet offensively. We do have some more upgrades to go through ahead of this playoff game, starting with Michael Barr. Let's go ahead and go zone. Try to get the zone coverage up a bit more, and he's going to get 3 to that, so that's exactly what we're looking for. Addison Middleton, pretty balanced across the board. Let's go ahead and go power, try to get the run blocking up, hopefully, especially on those runs up the middle, and he's going to get 3 to lead block, 1 to pass, 1 to run block, 1 to awareness. An absolute amazing upgrade for him. Dante Patterson, the 7th round rookie corner. Let's go ahead and go man-to-man here. 2 to man, 1 to player hack, 1 to excel. Puka Williams, I mean, he could come into play at some point out of that second slot receiver position. Let's go ahead and go route runner here. Try to get them up even more. 1 to catch, 1 to deep, and 2 to medium. Not bad. Dwight Devine, the last upgrade we have to do here. Let's go ahead and go scrambler. Keep trying to get that carrying up so fumbles aren't as much of an issue. And he gets 1 to that, 1 to short, and 1 to accuracy medium. For those of you who are still watching, I want you to leave your playoff predictions for not only us, but for the rest of the league. I want to see what you guys think is going to happen and who the Super Bowl matchup will be between. But yeah, next time we'll take on the Raiders in our first playoff game of the series. I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.